right, my fellow peoples. We are live. That's right. A-Fizzle on the Saturday, July 19, 2025. This is a special edition of Le Crib. The reason being is because I wanted to do a Le Crib for a minute now, but with everything that's went down the last couple of weeks, I kind of refrained because there's some things I need to focus on as far as myself. There's some things I just didn't want to cross over to the crib, when it has nothing to do with the crib. So I figure, this weekend, I had a little time on my hands. Let's like small little window on my hands. So let's go ahead and do the crib. I did one yesterday, and I was talking about I'm going to rename that Le Crib Part One, the events edition. I did talk. But then, that was when I was going to LaGrange for the street food, no, the summer block party, the summer street party, but it's a block party basically. So about the time I was getting ready to talk about the Broncos, I was already in LaGrange side around at the time. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do a part two. We gotta talk the Broncos too. But yeah, so I'm not gonna talk about any events in this one because if you talk about the ticker, there are no upcoming events. I spoke on this in a video I made about the Columbus and Atlanta. You gotta do better. There are no events going now, and I spoke about this yesterday in the first part of the quiz. So this on this one, I want to strictly focus on sports. I'll probably talk about Florida later in the stream. But it's good. Sniper. I see 7-7 there earlier. So I'll probably talk about Broncos. I'll talk about these Broncos. I haven't really, that was what I was getting ready to talk about. As y'all know, I did speak a little bit on the Denver Broncos towards the end of the crib. I didn't really get in depth. Like I said, going back to the draft, I'm very pleased with the draft. Granted, I didn't like day one because I wanted to run it back in the first round, but we dropped Ja'Day Barron from Texas. The beef up that secondary, especially since you lost Justin Simmons the all season before. I am not mad at the move at all. I really like that draft. I really like Ja'Day Barron at the first pick. He was a beast at Texas, and our secondary is going to be ferocious. Like it's going to be a lot of people. See, a lot of people they're not going to fuck the secondary. So yes, I am very happy with that pick. I was like, what the fuck at first because I wanted to run it back. But, knowing this Ja'Day Barron, knowing the accolades he received at Texas, I was really excited about the pick. I kind of laid off for a minute. It's like, you know what? I can live with this. This is a good pick. But then, you kept trading back in the second round. When you needed to get a running back, you let Omari Hampton walk off the board. You let, it was somebody else I wanted. Oh, Dylan Sampson walk. But, you want to get it's RJ Harvey for UCF. So, we did get the running back after all. And I still got to see him. Matter of fact, I got time. Let's see Harvey from UCF. I'm gonna turn it down because but we're gonna look at his highlights right quick. I got a little time. I'm gonna try to look at. I can't look too long because like I said, I'm driving. Let's see. Is it RJ Harvey? RJ Harvey. Okay, I was right. RJ Harvey. So let's after this ad. I'm actually heading to a party. I'm going to three parties today. The first party was a house party. It was a birthday party. I just left that party. A lot of people finna get ready to go to the next spot. So I'm finna head to party number two. I'm not gonna tell you where it is, but it is out of Columbus. And then I am gonna go, and I'm not gonna be at this party alone. And then I'm gonna go to party number three, which is back in Columbus. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a little traveling, but nonetheless, um, we're gonna make this PJ Harvey. I can't say much about RJ Harvey. All right, here we go. Let's get Sam used to stay. I can't really say on this one. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Just say that's why. It seems like, gosh, it seems like every time in Harris County, that's one. Yeah, I'm driving through Harris County right now. This always seems to be the problem. I should have taken the and see it have been better, but then again, I might run out of time. Okay, I'm just scared because Sammy State not telling me shit. Oh, this is 12 minutes. Oh, I'm not gonna watch the whole 12 minutes. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. So it's better talent. All right, it's just Colorado. You know they got murdered by Dion. All right, 4-12. Oh, he joking. Oh, oh, sit down, boy. Oh shit. Okay. All right, all right. I like what I'm seeing from so far on this Harvey cat. RJ Harvey. Turn on the Jets. Said fuck out of here, you Colorado Rock, Colorado Buff. You're not catching him. All right, let's get the Gators. Okay, he did score UCF's only touchdown against the Gators in the Swamp. They didn't do shit else, so until he kind of went prevent the fourth quarter. But it's more so to say, yeah, so we went prevent the fourth quarter. All right, okay, I'm not gonna watch all this. I'm gonna watch all of this at my own time though. But yeah, I like what I'm seeing. So we all know the Gators. They're playing. Obviously, they're playing the AFC South this year. They got the Titans week 1. Then they got the Colts week 2. And then they got the Texans early in the year. And then they take on the Jags around Christmas time, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the schedule off the rip, but I do know the Titans is week 1, which is just perfect for me because with the number 1 pick. Okay, good. Sniper said my voice is better. Because like the Titans picked Cam Ward with the number 1 pick out of Miami. Florida played Miami last season, and yeah, Miami absolutely destroyed Florida. So the fact that the Broncos get the Titans week 1, and knowing that the Titans drafted um, Cam Ward, I want revenge week 1. Broncos should beat them. The Titans are not good. They had the number 1 pick for a reason. And then you got the Colts week 2. This is another game I want because my dad's friend, he's a Colts fan. He always talk. He doesn't talk as much shit, because he does respect Peyton Manning. Because Peyton Manning was a coach in the Broncos, so he does respect the Broncos because Peyton Manning. But but he talks a lot of shit. So I definitely want to get those two. I definitely want to start 2-0. We should beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars, they going through they're a rough patch on their own. But then this year, how he's gonna stack up right. That's very, very like I think it was no, I think it's a cheat game. Get a Christmas Day. I think the Giants. I mean, look. Schedule. So yeah, I hope the Broncos can start 2-0 right off the rip. I really got to focus on this road. All right, Denver Broncos. Oh, I don't know. I do not want preseason. I do not care. I know we get. Oh, the Broncos play the Saints this preseason. That's a first. You usually get AFC West, NFC West teams on the preseason. Okay, so the Broncos get the 49ers, Cardinals, and Saints for the preseason. Like I said, get the Titans week one. That's a home game. You know, Empire Field. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't call it Empire Field. I call it Mile High Stadium. The sequel. That's they gonna the home crowd's gonna be lit for that one. Get the Colts week two. That's at Indy. Okay, I was right. So we get the Chargers week three. We owe them this year. Give give them in LA. No, they swept the Broncos last year, so you know we definitely got to get some get back. Um, Chargers, we'll have to see. I'm not we have to see as far as winning or losing, but we have to see what type of team they're going to have. Obviously, they got Justin Herbert, but like the team doesn't really scare me. Yeah. Granted, they did they swept the Broncos, but they don't pose a legit threat. If we being technical, I they can have like these 9 or 10 win seasons, 11 win seasons until Jimmy cracked corn, but they can't. But it seems like this decade they're not getting past the first round. So and then they blew a 28. What's it? 28 doesn't lead to the Jaguars and lost that. You blew a lead to. This is why I say the Chargers or the Atlanta Falcons are the AFC because they do the same exact shit as the Falcons do. Only difference is they do it early instead of waiting to the Super Bowl to choke. So, and then the Broncos get the Bengals week four. That game is in Denver. So I play the Bengals every year too. But I like this matchup. You got Joe Burrow versus Bo Nix. This was a really good. This was a really interesting game last year. Unfortunately, the Bengals did win in overtime. The Broncos had opportunities to win that game in regulation and just couldn't seize the opportunity. I feel like for the Broncos, it's not because last year is last year. This is this. But, uh, you know, you know, it is a home game, so we don't got to go to Cincinnati. Not that the Broncos can't go into Cincinnati and beat them, but for me, it's all about the Bengals defense. If their defense is trash again this year, the Broncos should win that game. They should. I don't think like the Bengals part will have to. They'll move the ball a little bit, but they'll move the ball a little bit. But it's not like they're gonna really make any strides to really go up and down the field on this defense. Not this year. They're not. They're definitely not putting up 30 points on the Broncos here. So anybody who thinks that they can shut the fuck up with that. Sniper says, what? Is that Sniper said? He said, he says Justin Herbert has substantial. He has God damn it. I can't fucking read. Substantial arthro, but I can't read today. I was saying he has substantial arm strength, but he's not clutch, and he has less playoff wins than Tim Tebow. Yep, he showed us. At least Tim Tebow won a playoff game, but he's just a Herbert. Should no playoff win having ass. Then your only playoff games against AFC South team. You can't beat the AFC South. Have we beat the AFC South? Yeah, we did. We beat the Jaguars in '97. So yeah, we have beat the AFC South in the playoffs. We beat the Titans when they were the Oilers. Don't think we beat the Colts in the playoffs, and we haven't played the Texans in the playoffs yet. That may be coming soon, but not real soon. No. The Broncos vs. Bengals on Monday Night Football this year has been a mystery to me, but yeah, I don't trust that defense. I don't trust the Bengals defense at all. Little paper suspect. Yeah, because their front office sucks. If they're week five, oh my God. Week five. Now, this is going to be a really interesting bout. So, week five, as y'all know, the Broncos got to go to not not per me the East Coast. Yeah, but it's not just East Coast. We got to go to Philly, PA, the city of brotherly love, the 215. We got to take the Broncos have to go in the Lincoln Financial Field to take on the defending Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be a tough game. I'm not going to lie. I would not pencil this down as a guaranteed win. We could lose this game. We could. And also the similar situation with the Ravens in Baltimore. The Broncos struggled against the Eagles in Philly. They only beaten the Phillies. They only beaten the Eagles once in Philly. That was back in '86. I don't know how the hell they managed to do it, but they did it. John Elway shredded that Buddy Ryan defense 33-7. But since then, the Broncos is just not having any luck with the Eagles. And the last time the Broncos went to Philly, that's when they got a 50 burger hung up on them, and that was the year the Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl. So now this time around, we get the Eagles fresh off the Super Bowl. But with that being said, this is not a game that the Broncos. Man, This isn't a game that the Broncos can't win either, though. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If anybody thinks it's gonna be a blowout, I don't. You're sadly mistaken. I think it's gonna be a really close game. I think it's gonna be a defensive bout. I think it's gonna come down to who makes. If Bo Nix can make fewer mistakes than Jalen Hurts. I feel like if he can make fewer mistakes than Jalen Hurts, he should win this game. I mean, the Broncos will have a good chance. I'm not gonna say they should, but I feel like they will have a chance in this game if they can play. If they can play mistake-free football on offense. I feel like the defense could do enough to slow down that offense. I know the Eagles they're prone to have tricks up their sleeves, i.e. the Philly special in Super Bowl 52. I don't think and the Broncos, it's hard for me to say that the Broncos are not immune to falling from mistakes. They've done it in the past. They could do it again in Week 5 against the Eagles. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. But the Eagles have made some significant moves too. They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They lost Slay. But at the same time, I think this is a team that's going to revamp and reload. So no, it's not going to be an easy game. So this this game is not personal either. I don't got I don't have anything against the Eagles. I know the Eagles fans like to look at themselves as like uh, the the most hated fan base in the NFL. You're probably the most annoying in the NFL, but you're not the most hated. Lots of people give a shit about you. Like that. Okay, let's just says because he didn't say something. In the grand scheme of things, I think as long as they stay healthy, the Broncos will finish 12-5 one way or another. Whether they go 13-4 or better, I'm not gonna be surprised. Me neither. And I'm gonna talk more about when it's all said and done when I get through the schedule. First, how do I think the Broncos are capable of doing? Now, I'm not going to do like a schedule prediction like I did last year on Facebook, which I nailed my predict. I mean, I nailed the record. I said the Broncos would finish 10-7 last year, and lo and behold, they finished 10-7. But I did have some. Obviously, I didn't hit every matchup correctly. That was obvious. I did say the Broncos would beat the Falcons. I did say the Broncos would beat the Browns, and I did say the Broncos would split with the Chiefs. I said the Broncos would lose at Arrowhead and then turn around and win in Mile High. There's no way fuck the Broncos gonna lose on my birthday, especially with Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes and company sitting. I'd be damn if they lose that game. So yeah, that's gonna be a 1 o'clock game for the Eagles. And as far as like these other games, the Titans game obviously is a four o'clock game. That's 4 or 5 game that's out of Denver. The Colts game is a 2:05. I mean 2:05, but 2:05 Mountain, but it's a 4 or 5 game for me out east. The game is in Indy. Chargers game, that's a road game. That's a 4 or 5 game. It is Sniper said the Bengals game is a Monday nighter. Eagles game, that's gonna be our first 1 o'clock game of the year. It's gonna be our first early game. And then this shit, week 6, the Broncos play the New York Jets. First and foremost, let me go get the small potatoes out of the way. I get sick. I'm tired of playing the Jets every year. This is gonna be our 6th year in a row playing the Jets. Next year, the AFC. Oh, dang, it didn't sound my mouth. Next year, the AFC West plays the AFC East. With that being said, the Broncos are going to play the Jets again, which will be the 7th year in a row that they played the Jets. At this point, next year, can the Broncos and the Jets not finish in the same place in their respective divisions? We do not need to see this matchup for an 8th year in a row. It's getting boring. Yeah, the Jets have got a few matchups, won a few matchups, but the Broncos have basically been pimp slapping the shit out of these guys. We pimp slapped them in 20. Well, we didn't pimp slap them in 20. We had a hard fought game in 20 on Thursday night, and we came out on top. We pimp slapped them in 21. They did get us in 22 and 23, and we held on for dear life in 20 and last year. So yeah, the Broncos are 3-2 against the Jets in these last 5 meetings. It's about to be 4. It's about to be 5-2. Who did the Jets have? Besides Sauce Gardner, nobody on the New York Jets intimidates me. You know, this defense that they were supposed to have, where the fuck is it? It's just Sauce Gardner, and that's it. I'm not, this team don't scare me. They don't intimidate me. The Broncos should win this game. They should win by at least double digits, if anything. Now, the second thing is, which I was about to get into, Sniper. Yeah, I know you brought it up just now. The second thing is, this is the thing that really irritates me. This game is over fucking seas. This game is in London. Okay, I get it from an international standpoint. You know, Roger Goodell, he wants to expand the game worldwide. So he wants to have international games. And the Broncos are not going to be immune to having international games. But at the same time, I don't really care for these international games. Like, got to get up early in the morning just to watch this game. This game's a 9:30 game. And what date is it? Let me see. I know it's in October. It's in October. It's October 12th. So this is coming out. This is coming out the day after Florida heads out to Aggie Land to play Texas A&M. If Florida loses that game to Texas A&M, I could be drinking heavily. And if there's a UFC fight, which someone told me it's going to be a UFC fight that weekend, I'm not going to be up for this game. I probably won't wake up to about halftime, which I hope the Broncos will be winning by halftime if that's the case. Yep, and Sniper says, even though the Broncos playing on Christmas Day, gives me PTSD. I'm just glad Amazon Prime Video is broadcasting the game since I'll be covered in case Buffalo Wild Wings Hooters aren't open that day. Well, I don't know about your area, but here in Columbus, Hooters was always open on Christmas Day, and I think Buffalo Wild Wings is too. I don't go to either spot on Christmas Day, but like I'm sure that they both are open on. I know Hooters for sure is open on Christmas Day. I think Twin Peaks is too. Okay, so get back to the schedule. Week 7. So the Broncos do have a game on week 7. So you know what that means? We're not winning the Super Bowl because every time the Broncos win the Super Bowl, our bye week was week 7 and it was coming off a 6-0 record. I don't know what the fuck happened in 2009. Yes, I do. Trust me, douchebag happened. So yeah, but nonetheless, this year the Broncos will have a game week 7, so they will not be playing. They will not be winning the Super Bowl. With that being said, the Broncos do host the New York Football Giants. This could be a potential trap game. I don't know why. It seems like the Broncos, they should win this game. But remember, a year where the Broncos won the Super Bowl, the Broncos played the Giants and lost to them. Last time the AFC West played the NFC East, and that Giants game was a home game. The Giants went 3-13, and one of those wins was against the Broncos. I'm not putting that as a guaranteed win either. I don't think we'll lose that game, but would it surprise me if the Broncos lose? No, it won't. I will not be surprised if we lose that game. That could be a potential upset. It could be. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just calling like I see it. And then week 8, our annual whipping boys coming to Denver. Bandwagon Nation, a.k.a. the Dallas Cowboys. Get to see them week 8. Judgment Day. As y'all know, I had this story. I told the story countless times. My mom's side of the family, a lot of them are Cowboy fans. So, every time the Broncos beat the Cowboys, I win Judgment Day. And the Broncos have not lost to the Cowboys since I was 5 years old in kindergarten. throwing up over watermelon at a kindergarten class picnic. I think me throwing up, me eating watermelon at class picnic and throwing up that night was probably the best thing that could happen to the Denver Broncos because since then the Broncos have never lost to the Cowboys since. Some told me that picnic. Now that I think about it, that Broncos Cowboys game when the Broncos lost to the Cowboys in '95, that was early in the year. I don't think we had our class picnic that early in the school year. So yeah, ever since I threw up at that class picnic, the Broncos have never lost to the Cowboys. I don't expect that to change this year. I know the Cowboys are going through a lot. They finished 7-10 last year. They don't know what the fuck they. Jerry Jones, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore. All he cares about is having the biggest, best stadium in the NFL. He doesn't care about winning. And if he does, he does. He's not showing it to me. He's not showing it to anybody else that has a pulse. Even Cowboy fans don't even think he cares about winning anymore. He needs to sell the team. Oh, man, no, don't sell the team. Stay there for the rest of your life for all I care. We'll just continue to beat your ass. I'm marking this down as a guaranteed win. I don't care how bad the Broncos are or how good the Cowboys are. The Broncos are going to, I'm always pencil that as a guaranteed win until further notice. Until the Cowboys beat the Broncos, that's a guaranteed fucking win. So we would not go 0-4 against the NFCs. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Sniper says the Cowboys have to beat the Broncos in the regular season since Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Michael Jackson were all alive. That's right. He was like 6 months removed from his world last time the Cowboys beat the Broncos and Selena. So we own the Cowboys. We them boys? No, you're not them boys. Sit the fuck down. You'll never beat them boys again. Not when you come to Denver. Not when the Broncos come to Jerry World. You will never beat them boys. And you're not winning the NFC East either. So I don't want to hear shit about this is our year. What in what lifetime? Well, this lifetime you already done it, but like you're not. This is not your year. Can Dak stay healthy? Is McCarthy going to still have a job when this all said and done? I'm sorry. I'm not sold on the Cowboys. I don't hate the Cowboys. Their fans are annoying too, just like Eagle fans. But and they fan base is bandwagon. They only like the Cowboys because of the star, because they got 5 Super Bowl titles. Couldn't even tell you. Like, yeah, you can. It's easy to name the quarterbacks and the running backs who were on those teams when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. It's easy to name the head coaches. You probably wouldn't name the last one though. You can name Tom Landry and Jerry Johnson, but I bet you wouldn't know about Barry Switzer. We gonna do it, baby. I actually do like Barry Switzer. He was funny. He's a funny coach. But I guarantee they couldn't tell you that they couldn't tell you some of these other players who was on those Cowboys Super Bowl teams. They couldn't tell you who Dwayne Thomas was, Hollywood Henderson. They couldn't tell you about Drew Pearson. They couldn't tell you about Charlie Waters, who was the Broncos, who worked with the Broncos back in the '90s. By the way, they couldn't tell you about Charlie Waters. Obviously, they know about. I'm sure they know about Tyler Jones. That's a familiar name. They couldn't tell you about Leon Lett. Well, I mean, not Leon Lett. Everybody can tell you about Leon Lett. No, not Leon Lett. What's the other guy I think about? What's it? Nate Newton. That's what I was saying. They couldn't tell you about Nate Newton. They couldn't tell you about Alvin Harper. They couldn't tell you about any of that shit. They just know that the basic names. Like, come on now. I can't take you serious, Cowboy fans. I can't. The only games the Broncos schedule that concern me are the Eagles, Texans, and to an extent the Redskins. Thank you for saying Redskins, not Commanders. I do think at the very least we'll split with the Chargers and Chiefs. Yeah, I haven't got to the Chiefs part of the schedule yet, so because I go put them on list about the Dallas Cowboys. But we should beat them with our hands tied. We probably blow them. We probably blow these fuckers out. If I'm being honest, that could happen. But after those 2 home games, the Broncos are back on the road again. Week 9, they got the Houston Texans. I think they got a late bye week this year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we got the Houston Texans Week 9. That is a 1:00 game for me. Now this game, it doesn't concern me, but this game right here, this is also going to be another tough one. You know, we got to go to Houston. The Texans, just like the Broncos, are up and coming. C.J. Stroud looks like he could be the real deal. That defense is starting like the real deal. They did pick up Chauncey Gardner. I don't ever call him C.J. Gardner Johnson. That's an Eagle thing. That's a Detroit Lions thing. I know Chauncey Gardner from the Florida Gators. That's what I know. But nonetheless, it's gonna be a tough game though. It's not gonna be a gimme. This, um, last time the Broncos did play the Texans, it did came down to the end though. The Broncos were driving on that very last drive, had a chance to win the game, and then Russell Wilson throws that interception late in the closing seconds. God damn it, Russ. That's why you're on the Chiefs. What? I see what. If Russell Wilson's a starter for the Giants when the Broncos play, guarantee win. Russell Wilson's not beating us. That's a small chance. But yeah. Sniper also says, plus, like he says, depending on the Bengals situation, when they play us in that game, is a mystery to me. Uh, if their defense can step up to the occasion, the Bengals defense that is, this could be a challenge. I think it'll be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout their Bengals game. You know, or better yet, if Bonus can get in the if Bonus can get in the shootout with Joe Burrow and their offense, I like our chances. I sincerely like our chances against the Bengals. But yeah, Texans. Another game that the Broncos could lose. It's a road game. They could lose that game. I won't be surprised if they do. I hope they don't. I want them to win, but it won't surprise me if they lose. And then week 10 rolls around. Now we get the first crack at those Raiders. This was in Denver. I'm not going to talk about the Raiders. Win. They're the fucking Raiders. They suck. I don't give a fuck if they got Pete Carroll and Geno Smith there. They fucking suck. They're not going to do shit this year. Take that to the bank. You're sweeping the ass. Sticking the broomsticks up their ass yet again this year. That's my take with the Raiders. Fuck them. Now, week 11, get the Chiefs. This was in Denver. If the Broncos are off to a good start headed to this matchup, is this game on Sunday night, by the way? No, not right now. It's a 425 game. But if the Broncos are rolling at this point and they're in the mix in the AFC West, expect this game to be flexed Sunday night, first and foremost. Second of all, this game can really showcase where the Broncos at and how far they can go. I'm just saying. I'm just goddamn saying. This game's in Denver, so I'm not. So on the strength of that alone, I believe we should win this game though. We got it. We should have a really good. We have a really good chance winning this game. The Chiefs don't fucking scare me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but the Kansas City Chiefs don't fucking scare me. Not this year. It didn't scare me last year either. And the crazy thing was, the Broncos were a block field goal away from sweeping the Chiefs. So yeah, we can really knock on the door and have a chance to beat the Chiefs with Mahomes and company, especially at Arrowhead. I think we can win this game. I seriously think that the Broncos can win this game. And which, if they do win this game, now it'll be a hard fought win. I just hope. I don't think the Broncos will celebrate this way a little too long. But I'm gonna say this though about it. But they will get an extra week to celebrate. But I hope they don't celebrate a little too long. Because coming up after the Chiefs game, Broncos do get their bye week, week 12. And then week 13, this is why the Broncos do not need to celebrate a little too long. They get the HTTRs week 13. That game is at FedEx Field. So we get to see Von Miller, a.k.a. Mr. Stormy. But he's not a Bronco anymore, so we'll not be starring him. I think the Broncos can win this game against the Redskins. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't. Redskins don't fucking intimidate me. They really don't. I think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna take a step back this year. I feel like last year it came out of nowhere. It had a rookie quarterback. So, you didn't really have any tape on what's his face, Jaden Daniels. this year teams are going to have tape on him. I'm not saying he's going to have I'm not saying he's going to fall off the surface of this earth. He could very well have a sophomore slump. And now like I say, you get Bo Nix versus Jaden Daniels. It's going to be a very interesting bout. I like our chances in this game. I'm penciling this win. Would I be surprised if the Broncos lose this game? Not really. Now the Redskins are like 4-7, some shit like that, and they just really fall off the rails. If the Broncos fuck around and lose this game, then hell yeah, I'll be surprised. But I don't think the Broncos are capable of losing that game. I do feel like this game could be close, though. It wouldn't surprise me if the Broncos blow out the Redskins either. That said, when the refs actually called a fair game against the Chiefs, can't fired out. Oh, that said, when the refs actually call a fair game, the Chiefs can't fight out wet paper. I had to say, yeah, they can't. Yeah, and they called a bullshit play in that game against us in Arrowhead too. Broncos can easily win this game regulation. The ball after 2-1. What's the so make the same mistakes that they did made last time. So yeah, get the Redskins week 13. That's the road game. Week 14, go out to Vegas, play the Raiders. I'm not gonna waste y'all time to talk about them. You go back to what I said about them week 10 or week 10, and that's gonna be that. That's gonna be our second matchup with the Raiders, by the way. And then week 15, we get the Packers. This game's in Denver. Packers had an unexpected good year last year. They did go 10-7. They made the playoffs. This game is in Denver. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm not gonna say the Broncos are gonna lose this game to the Packers, but if there's a game I could possibly, well, this game could go either way. I'm just gonna be straight up. This game can go either way. I do think that the Broncos. There's a chance. If the Broncos don't come to play, they probably will lose this game. If the Broncos show up to the occasion, they will win this game. But I feel like these two teams are basically evenly matched. I feel like we got the edge defense, and that game's in Denver, but it's not going to really mean anything to an extent because like the Packers play in cold weather too, so it's not like they're going to be intimidated by that. Not be intimidated, and they used to playing at a wild crowd like Lambeau Field, so I don't think they're going to be intimidated by any of that shit. But I feel like if it comes down to the defense, we're going to win this game. We will. If I remember correctly, the Broncos Redskins game is scheduled for Sunday Night Football. I think it is. I mean, that says 1 o'clock game. I think it is Sunday night game. Yep, you're right, Sniper. Yep, that's Redskins game. It's a Sunday night game as of now. You get to see sophomore quarterbacks live on the 4:25 game. And then you get the Jaguars. It's also 4 or 5. We should win the game. I pray that Trevor Lawrence can actually say he can really, I think he can really do some things in the NFL this year. I think he's going to make a splash. I think the Jaguars are going to let him play both sides of the field. But outside of those, there's nothing that stands out to where, we should be intimidated by this team. I think the game's, is that game in Denver? I feel like, yeah, it's in Denver. Yeah, it's in Denver. Yeah, so we definitely should win that game. And then week 17, hold on. I think we got Daniel Berry in the building. Yes, we do. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, welcome in. Is it moving? Okay, good. I can't really move it anymore. So, oh, God damn it. I done fucked this shit up. Wait. Oh, never mind. I didn't really fuck this shit. I can go to the comment section on YouTube and see the comments. But anyways, week 17 and week 17 and 18 Broncos finished out their season against division rivals. Week 17 got the Chiefs at Arrowhead Christmas Day. The Broncos don't fare well on Christmas Day. The game is in Arrowhead. I think we probably dropped that game. I do see the Broncos splitting with the Chiefs again this year. I think we honestly lose that game. Now, if the Chiefs are wrapped up the AFC West and the Broncos are still fight for a playoff spot, I think they'll probably give the Broncos a legit chance. But other than that, if the AFC West is on the line, I do expect the Broncos to drop that game. And then week 18, home game against the Chargers. We'll have to see how that unfolds because I mean, yeah, we had to wait. God damn it! Oh wait. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we have to see how the season unfolds for that one. If the Broncos are wrapped up, if the Broncos want to win AFC West, or they've wrapped up a playoff spot, but they can't get the AFC West, they're locked in the spot. This could be a scenario where the Broncos could very well be sitting out their players, and they might lose that game. But if the Broncos still got a lot to play for, I expect the Broncos to get up for this one and rise to the occasion. But with that being said, I do expect the Chargers at the same time. Like if the Broncos do, um, if the Broncos do have a playoff spot in line, I do expect the Chargers to rise to the occasion as well, with their sole intentions of eliminating the Broncos from the playoffs, if it comes down to it. But yeah, let me read some of these other comments I missed. Cypress left a lot of comments. Okay, I think I read a lot of these. And I'm gonna make a pit stop right quick, so just bear with me. But yeah, I thought I'd make a pit stop. I'm gonna read these comments. He says, as far as Russell Wilson goes, if the anytime you're a quarterback or you're 14 in the 5 year, that's a you problem. Yep. You've been consistent and understands that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league, but I do think the Broncos defense is capable. Yeah, we can limit Mahomes to like a shootout. We got the defense, the offense to go toe with Burrow. We made some moves on offense too. Like we got Evan Ingram, who I think is a solid tight end, and then like I say, you just got playmakers. You got I think he really beat us this offense. I like our chances in this game against I like our chances on offense this year. I think offense is going to take the next step. But now, as far as my how I see so with that being said, so I see potential losses, chances of a loss. Um, what I say, um, I'm gonna go in just for like shits and giggles. Throw that Chargers game in week 3 for a loss. It could very well happen. I'm not guaranteeing it will, but it could very well happen. The Eagles game, Texas game, Giants game. Um, the Chiefs game week 7. Okay, so I said I said Chargers week 3, Eagles week 5, Texans week 9. Sorry, Giants week 7, Cowboys week 9. Maybe HCTRs week 13, and then maybe the last 2 weeks of the year. Chiefs on the road and Chargers at home. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say we probably go about 10-7, maybe 11-6. If everything goes perfect, I think that's what's going to happen. I'm gonna be right back, y'all. So just bear with me a couple seconds. I gotta make one more run too. I just gotta make one more trip, like I said, and then I'll be right back. I don't really have much else to say about the Broncos, but I am going to try to. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up once I get done when I need to get done right quick. So just hopefully bear with me about another 5 more minutes. All right. All right, I'm back now. All right, done my errands right quick. Sorry, so we're gonna continue this brief conversation. Like I said, I don't really have much else to say about the Denver Broncos. I think I said it all. Oh, I know I was getting yeah. I think last thing I remember saying was like I can see 10-7. I can see 11-6. I can see all that. I'm just not seeing a situation where the Broncos take you know, I don't see a situation where the Broncos take a nosedive and go backwards. I would be very stunned if that happens, considering what this team has built. I feel like this team is trending in the right direction. 2023, they created our lowest point. At the same time, it was a turning point too. So, you know, with that happening the way it did, so I think that woke the team up, and the team just started trending over from there. Now, obviously, they still got some ways to go, so it's not like they're done. It's not like we still got. It's not like they're done. It's not like it's not like they're done. It's not like you know, what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? Oh, it's not like they're done. It's not like they reach a peak. I just feel like this is opening the door for what's about to happen. I'm hoping in the near future the Broncos can win another Super Bowl. I'm not willing to go that far quite yet, but I can see it in the future though. I'm just slowing my ass down because I feel like I'm going way too fast. But yeah, I could definitely. But yeah, I can definitely see the Broncos taking the next step. I do feel like the Broncos are capable of getting back to the playoffs, and I'm also capable that the Broncos are going to take the next step to where I feel like they're going to take the next step to where not only they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to win. Oh, it's 4 lanes. What? Shit. But they're also going to take the next step to where they're going to win a playoff game. I can see that happening. Whether it's a home game by virtue of winning the division or a road game as a wild card, I feel like they make the next step as far as winning the wild card game, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. As of right now, that's the only thing we can see. That's the only thing we can do as fans is just see where the team goes. We're hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best. As y'all know, it's been a rough couple of years for the Broncos. 7 straight losing seasons, 8 years of missing the playoffs. It's just been rough. In those years, even though like I got up for Broncos football around mid-August, it took me to mid-August to get up for Broncos football. If I'm being technical with y'all, because I didn't know what team does, but I was hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. If that makes sense. But after last year and seeing after the last 2 years and seeing the team descend upward the second half of the year, the season before, and then taking the next step as far as having a winning record and making the playoffs, this is like the first year in some time that I actually been ready for Broncos football and before August. I'm 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 ready for Broncos football. I really am. This year, in the middle of July, I am ready for some Denver Broncos football. It's going to be exciting to watch. You know, obviously, it may be still some growing pains with Bo Nix. There's going to be some growing pains with the rookies. But nonetheless, things are looking up. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC West. I feel like the gap is starting to close a little bit, but until that gap closes and somebody dethrones them from the top of the AFC West, they're still going to be that team to beat. A lot of people saying that the Raiders are going to do something. I got to see it to believe it. I'm not sold on the Raiders. There's nothing that tells me that the Raiders are going to take any type of step as far as like making the playoffs or anything. Maybe they have a better record, if we go in that route, I can see that. You know, they did go 5-12. Or was it four? No, 4-13. Was it four? Yeah, 4-13. They only wins. Somehow they beat the Ravens week two. Then they beat the Browns week four. Then they went on that long losing streak until late in the year where they beat the Jags on the Saints. So yeah, 4-12. I mean 4-13. So until I see something different from the Raiders, I'm not a buyer. And the Chargers, they could be up and down. Like one year they'll make the playoffs and get ousted in a wild card round. The next year they just fall off the surface of the earth, get swept by everybody in the AFC West, and finish in the cellar. In fact, that actually did happen. Like 2022, they made the playoffs, and that was the year that they blew that lead, that wild card lead to the Jaguars. Then the following, excuse, the following, no, I'll tell you about. They did not get swept by the entire AFC West. They actually split with the Raiders, but they did get swept by the Broncos and Chiefs. So I could see a situation that could be a situation for the Chargers this year. They're prone to do that. Have one good year and then fall off the surface of the map the following year. Or it could be certain times where they just have a couple of good years and do nothing with it. That's the Chargers for you. So like I and like until the I want to put the Broncos up there as far as like a team that can win. Right now, I just got to say the Chiefs are going to win the AFC West. If I had to go there, if I had to pick a division winner right now, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Until they are dethroned, it's going to be hard to really decide who else wins it. The Broncos. I feel like you know, I want to say the Broncos have the best chance of dethroning them. They may do, but I think if the Broncos don't, the Chiefs, if they don't win the AFC West, I do think the Broncos could be next in line. But it won't surprise me if the Chargers are right there in the mix too. So that's how I feel about the Chargers and Broncos right now. The Raiders only give me the Raiders. If maybe they finish third in the AFC West. If the Chargers completely shit the bed, I don't think they finish better than third. I don't see them passing the Broncos in the AFC West this year. I just don't see it. Let me see. Let me say. Sniper says, honestly, everybody, honestly, people, especially dumbasses at 104.3, the fan, give Geno Smith too much credit. If Geno was good, people make him out to be a Seahawks when he got rid. Yeah, I don't fear Geno. I do not. He does nothing that he doesn't scare me. Neither does Justin Herbert. He doesn't scare me. The Broncos have beaten him before. They've beaten Geno Smith before. And I'm not scared of Patrick Mahomes. The Broncos have beaten him before, only once so, but nonetheless, they've been the it team. They won 3 straight AFC titles. Thank God they got the ass sent to them in the Super Bowl. So like I said, until they hit the throne, you gotta put them up there in the mix as far as teams that have a chance. I feel like the AFC as a whole, it's gonna be if I'm being honest with y'all, the AFC as a whole, it's gonna be I don't want to say a mystery. No, I don't want to use that word. It's gonna be a free fall. Like there's no telling who's gonna come out of the AFC this year. Maybe the Chiefs win it all. Maybe the Chiefs go back to the Super Bowl again. Maybe somebody else step up to the occasion. Maybe the Ravens or the Bills finally get their shit together and get to the Super Bowl. Maybe the Broncos actually take the next step and the next step. They go to the Super Bowl. Maybe the Bengals fix their defense. They go back to the Super Bowl. Who truly knows at this point? I'm just being straight up with y'all. But I don't think AFC is going to be a gimme for anyone. I feel like whoever comes out the AFC and goes to the Super Bowl this year, they're going to earn it. But like right now, I'm gonna say it's between the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. I think they're like the model teams right now. If you want to do like a second tier, maybe the Bengals if their defense get their shit together. Maybe the Chargers if they don't fall off a cliff. Maybe the Texans if they can finally make it to an AFC title game. Maybe the Broncos if they take the next step. Maybe I can't say the Steelers. I just can't. I'm, I think the Steelers actually going to have a losing record this year. I see that happening. I may be wrong, but I'm about certain I'm going to be right. Because the thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers is like, Yeah, they had a winning record every year under Mike Tomlin, but sometime they finally gonna have a losing record. The Tomlin's gonna be out of a job, and they're gonna find a new coach because at this point, if 9-8 is the best you could do, and you're constantly getting knocked out of the first round, what does that say about you? In all seriousness, I'm not a buyer in the Steelers. I want to say I'm a buyer, and the Dolphins, like they got too many. They got some questions themselves. Can we really book them as a team that has legit shots of making some noise? They're under tour, so he can't stay healthy to save his fucking life. So I just don't know. But football season is around the corner. We are in mid July. Training camp started up. Preseason football will be starting up in a few weeks, and then before you know it, it'll be week one on September 4th. Kansas City Chiefs. No, sorry, not Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't win the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles, excuse me, against the Dallas Cowboys. I think that starts off the year for 2025 NFL campaign. But nonetheless, Bo Nix, I definitely think has been considered to be the top five best quarterback currently in NFL conversation. I'm on the fence with Bo Nix in the top five or the top 10 right now because he's a rookie. He did make his mistakes, but he has done some good too. I think this upcoming year, it's a little too early to say he's the top five. Same with Jaden Daniels. Right now, I'm going to say this year we're going to determine if either one of those quarterbacks are capable of being a top 10, let alone a top five quarterback. We're going to see what happens with this year. Bonus has a chance to get in that conversation because I feel like it's all on him now. I mean, it's mostly on him, but everybody got to be a cohesive unit. It can't be just one man for himself. But I feel like Bonus is going to feel a lot of pressure going to his second year, doing this team, make the playoffs. The Bronco fans are going to expect more from him now, and that's fair. That is a fair argument. It is what it is. Not to mention with Miami, they haven't won a Super Bowl since I was personally wasn't. Yeah, that's true. They had made two Super Bowls since he died, but they lost the most. So yeah, like with Miami Dolphins, they got to win a playoff game for me before I put them in any conversation as far as being a legit AFC contender. They haven't won a playoff game since I was in the fifth grade, and then like it took them overtime to even win that playoff game. So just saying. But yeah, I think I covered everything about the Broncos. Like I said, I talked a lot about the Gators yesterday. In yesterday's crib when it came to like taking the next step, I feel like it comes down to the defense in relation to the Gators. The offense, I do feel like it's gonna be straight. I already went through this schedule. If I'm being sincere, I did say the ceiling could be 7-5. I'm just not seeing a situation to where Florida falls completely off the map and goes 5-7, 4-8. I just don't see it this year. At worst, I could see 7-5. They can lose. They can lose to Texas A. They can lose to Texas A&M. They can lose to LSU. They can lose to Miami. They can lose to Texas. They can lose to Georgia. They can lose to Ole Miss. I don't think they're gonna lose all of those games. Some of those games they're gonna win. Which games we have to see. I feel like if I'm being straightforward, I think the Texas games are possible. They got a good chance if they're battle tested by October. As I didn't mention Tennessee, I see Florida beating Tennessee. Tennessee is not winning the swamp since '03, and until that changes, I'm not gonna get up here and get Tennessee a win in the swamp. They gotta prove it. It's just what it is. Florida can go to Ole Miss and win. And the good thing is they get Ole Miss late in the year. So I think Florida can catch Ole Miss at the right time. Again, the Texas game, that's iffy because like Texas will be battle tested already. They would have played Ohio State week one. But Florida been battle tested twice playing LSU and Miami. All those games are on the road. LSU game, Miami game for Florida, and the Texas, no, Ohio State. Wow, and the Ohio State game for Texas. All those games are on the road. So I'm just saying, people, you never fucking know. Anything can happen in the world of college football. So yeah, that's what's up, Sniper. I'm about to get ready to end it anyway. So yeah, um, I feel like I said everything I need to say. I did post in a community tab this morning, as I said I would, about Carver's schedule. I'm going to talk briefly about Carver's schedule. Looks like they start the season on August 8th, not the 15th, but the 8th. They're going to be on the road at near Auburn, no, in Leesburg, Lee County. They play in Lee. Then the next week, August 15th, they'll be on the road again. They'll be playing Fayetteville, Whitewater at Fayetteville, Georgia. That is about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. I don't think I'm gonna make that first game. I really wanted to go to the very first. Jarvis Jones is gonna be his first ever. His first year as a head coach of the Carver Tigers. I really want to make his first game, but with it being a road game and knowing what I may have coming up in a couple weeks, I I'm just not seeing a situation where I'm probably going to make that game. Now, I just we'll have to see. Now, I don't know if I'll make that second game either at Whitewater. I'm not even penciling that in as a guarantee. But what I am, however, though, however, that third game against Spencer, I will, and Lord willing, I will be at that game. I will. That's going to mean I'm not seeing a situation where I don't go to that game at this point. So, and like I said, I'm only going to that game for vlogging purposes because I never vlogged the Carver Spencer game. I feel like I need to do that at least once. So yeah, I'm gonna go this year. I'm gonna vlog that game. I'm gonna get y'all a little bit of experience. Hopefully, it won't be any shootings like last time. Hopefully, yeah. But after I go to this game and vlog it, this will be the final ever time I go to a Carver Spencer game because I've been to 12 of them already. I've been to I said I've been to 11 straight for 2000 from 2003 till 2013, and then I've been to the 2023 game when the shootings happened. So I'm gonna go to this one last Carver Spencer game. Then after that, I am done with Carver Spencer games because I been there, done that. Carver always wins, so there's no point in keep going to that game when you know the outcome of the game before the ball even kicks off. Now, the last year's game was close, so it was I think Carver won 17-9. The year before that, Carver was up 21-0 before the shootings happened. So it's like, yeah, so you never know. Anything can happen. And then Carver's going to have a lot of games here in Columbus. Like they got Jordan and Kendrick and Hardaway again this year. Columbus High, Northside. I think after the Whitewater game, Carver goes out of town one more time. That's like towards the middle of the season, closing in on the end, like around the middle, around mid season, closer towards the end, when they go to Americans play Sumter County. But but the rest of their games are here in Columbus. I haven't looked at Kendrick's schedule. I'm sure they're gonna have some out of town games this year too. Oh, I thought that was my phone. I'm sure they're gonna have some out of town games as well this year. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I gotta look at their schedule, see where things fall for them. One thing I mean, I don't got high hopes for Kendrick. They did go like 2-8. No, they went 3-7 last year, or something of that nature. So with Kendrick, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not gonna anticipate. I'm not gonna. Man, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm not gonna anticipate a winning season for Kendra. They just haven't shown me anything as far as like a winning record here. I just that tells me that they're gonna flip the script. Flip the script. I just don't see it. I hope they can flip the script. I'm gonna pray that they flip the script, but I'm not gonna go in this season with hopes and turns that they are gonna flip the script. So only time will tell with that one. So, but anyways, I think I covered everything I need to cover in relation to football. I don't want to make this a long football stream. I kind of already made it long as is by taking a brief break when I was handling some BI. But that business is BI. I'm headed to the second party now. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that third party quite yet. We'll have to see about that. But nonetheless, I'm going to jet up out of here. I don't know when I'm going to do another look crib. Only time will tell with that. So just keep your eyes and ears open for all things A-Fizzle Productions. Like I stated, the trail is as of right now is going cold as far as like events. I do got I was at Lagrange yesterday, as as I mentioned a few times in yesterday's crib. So I did go there. You will see some footage there, not really a lot. Just really showing around the vendors and somebody performing and line dancing. So other than that, anything spectacular. I'm not gonna get up here and tell you that it's gonna happen. So just saying. But yeah, other than that, definitely keep paying attention to the community tab so you know what's going down. And um, after I put all from the block party in Lagrange, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Until then, y'all have a great rest of the weekend, and happy that.